clock. Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Here.
Melton.
Here.
Rowe.
Here.
Bagley.
Here.
Harding.
Here.
Mr. President.
Here. Please stand for the pledge and remarks by Councilmember Don Rowe.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you spent much time down here in the last 30 years, you either knew or ran into Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly was a guy that came down here a lot. We lost him Friday. And I thought it'd be nice to just share some thoughts about Mike that I read in the paper. Mike attended and completed his education at Christ the King School, Creighton Prep, and Creighton University, where he was a member of the varsity men's golf team. In 1972, Mike graduated from Creighton University School of Law. Following his graduation from law school, Mike practiced law with his father, the late Thomas P. Kelly. Mike's law practice was diverse, representing clients from all walks of life. Mike also served as a commissioner on the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, having been elected to the then county-wide seat in 1984. After leaving the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, Mike's professional practice was centered on government relations and lobbying, primarily before the Nebraska Unicameral and various state and local government boards and councils, most notably the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission. In addition to Mike's legal practice and government career, Mike and his father, Tom, founded Clancy's Pub, formerly located at 72nd and Pacific Street. Mike was also owner of the famous Zestos on 13th Street, right next to Rosenblatt Stadium, before eventually opening a Zestos and Blatt Beer and Table at 12th and Mike Fahey Streets, next to the Charles Schwab Field. Mike was an avid golfer and sports fan, particularly of his beloved Chicago Cubs and Creighton Blue Jays. Mike was a loving husband, devoted father, and grandfather. Today we offer up a prayer of peace and comfort for his wife, Kathleen, his 3 sons, and 7 grandsons. We'll miss Mike.
Thank you. He certainly was one of a kind and will be missed. We'll intend to have a more formal city proclamation next week and invite the family down for that as well, but thank you for those remarks. Madam Clerk.
An affidavit of publication is on file for the pre-council and city council meeting, and a current copy of the meeting act is posted in a white binder on the east wall of legislative chambers.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Omaha City Council. We appreciate having you here on our many agenda items today. I'd encourage you to turn your cell phones off or at least to vibrate. Madam Clerk, the first item, please.
Item 6 is the election of a city council member for District 4. Yep, ballots are being distributed. A majority has not been reached. We have 3 votes for Eric Servan, and that's from Juanita Johnson, Danny Bagley, and Pete Festerson. We have 3 votes for Terry Blackburn from Brinker Harding, Amy Melton, and Don Rowe. A majority has not been reached. We have 3 votes for Ron Hugg from Juanita Johnson, Danny Bagley, and Pete Festerson, and 3 votes for Terry Blackburn from Brinker Harding, Amy Melton, and Don Rowe. A majority has been reached, all for Ron Hugg.
Congratulations, Mr. Hugg, on your appointment to the City Council. There will be a period of time for orientation, of course, for a new council member, and we anticipate a September 26th swearing in. I do want to thank all candidates. I believe all are here today for their interests, and all 12 candidates that submitted in this process. It takes a lot of courage to do that and to go through a process like this, as it does to run for office. And we appreciated everyone's interest and thought there were a lot of great candidates. I do also want to thank City Council members for stepping up during this time and for participating in this process. In particular, Vice President Melton for her assistance in this effort. And definitely City Council staff and City Clerk staff too, for all your work over the last several months on this issue. And I feel we had a productive group process, and we'll begin a new chapter on City Council District 4. And I know we all look forward to having council at full strength. Thank you.
If I may,
Yes.
I would just like to thank all 5 of the candidates, actually all 12 of the people that put their name forward. I think that the city of Omaha is very fortunate to have so many good quality people who are willing to step up and serve their community. And I hope that everyone continues to do that. And I look forward to supporting all of you in future endeavors and leadership in the city of Omaha. So I guess what I'd like to say to all of them, please don't give up. Thank you.
Thank you. Other points of privilege? Mr. Harding.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to thank all 12 who submitted their names, and even those who were interested and did not submit at this time, who've expressed an interest in maybe looking forward to serving in some public capacity in the future for the city. But the 12 that I met with, I appreciate your interest in the city and really your sacrifice that you were willing to make on behalf of for your family and yourself for the benefit of the citizens of Omaha. But I also wanted to thank the city of Omaha for their patience. When we started this process, we all knew it was going to be about 5 months, and 5 months way too long. So I do appreciate the patience of the citizens of District 4 and all the citizens of Omaha as we close this chapter and we open a new chapter for those in District 4 and the city of Omaha. And I wish Mr. Hug all the best. I know he has all the best interest of not only District 4, but all of Omaha in mind. And I look forward to serving with you for the remainder of the term and maybe even after that. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you. Mr. Bigley.
Thanks, Mr. President. I just wanted to first thank the staff and the candidates that did submit, kind of echoing the comments that my colleagues are making. And I want to thank my colleagues because we went through this process, and it's unique that the 6 of us appointed the successor for this vacant seat. And I learned to appreciate the sacrifice that each of us makes on this council that Mr. Hug is joining us on. And I know he's going to hit the ground running, which I had confidence in all the candidates that submitted that they would do the same. They were eager. I had good conversations with them, all the candidates. And I know in this process, this body does function well together. We had good dialogue back and forth, and we reached a consensus today. It wasn't easy, but the communication was open. Everybody took each other's calls, and I think the process worked good for this. And I look forward to District 4 being represented. I know they'll be represented well, and we're all ready to help Mr. Hug get rolling here when he gets sworn in. Thanks, Mr. President.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. These are very exciting and yet challenging times that we are experiencing here in Omaha, Nebraska. And this vacancy in District 4 has been vacant for quite a long time. The residents in District 4 have been without a voice. And granted, today we are trying to fill that void. May not be what everyone wants it to be, because of course you didn't have the opportunity to go and vote for your candidate. But under the circumstances, the policy, the procedures that we have in place now, this body, this city council, was charged with trying to do the best that they possibly could do. So I hope that you guys join us with giving Ron all the support that he needs to carry this across the finish line, especially until the next voting cycle. And again, I'm just elated for this time in terms of giving District 4 a voice that they very much need, someone that they can count on, a regular, someone that they can speak to and share their private thoughts or whatever concerns they may have in their district to someone on a regular basis. Again, it may not be what everyone wants it to be, but please understand that this body did try to do the best that it could in making this decision today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rowe.
Thank you, sir. I don't have a lot to add. I agree with all the comments that have been made. I do want to offer up a word of thanks to President Festerson and Vice President Melton for working with staff well to create a process. I know for Mr. Dowding and his team and Eliza and her team, it was a process that needed to be put forth and one that we followed to the T. We didn't waver. And I did appreciate that, and so I just wanted to say thank you to that team for putting the process together and then allowing the process to work.
Thanks. Mr. Bigley.
Last comment. I always forget something. Thanks, Mr. President. I also wanted to thank, I reach out to a lot of people, just people that I've known in the community from all walks of Omaha, and that filled in a lot of blanks for me, and I was comfortable with most all these candidates. But I do want to especially thank the people that took the time to at least allow me to bounce things off them and get perspective, because it's an important role that we take in filling this seat. And there's a lot of people that helped me get to this decision, so I wanted to thank them as well. Thanks, Mr. President.
Thank you. No further lights. Next item, please.
Item 7, a resolution to approve a revision to the 2024 budget to increase the general fund and community service programs by $1 million for Omaha 100 Inc.
So the next several items on the city council agenda are proposed budget amendments, and each has a public hearing and a vote separately. And when I call them up, I'll initially recognize the council member that introduced them in case they want to make an introduction of their amendment, and then we'll have the public hearing and vote on each one separately. So item number 7 was introduced by Councilmember Johnson. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks, everyone, for coming today. This, again, exciting, challenging times that our city is facing, especially after the pandemic, where we're trying to revamp and get back into some space of normalcy. Cities should provide financial support to small businesses in underserved communities, particularly after a pandemic, for a multitude of compelling reasons. First and foremost, these businesses are often the lifeblood of disadvantaged neighborhoods, offering essential services, employment opportunities.